everyone, today we're going to be looking at the area between curves and average value. This is 8.4 from the Jacplus textbook, and we'll go through the worked examples together. So, worked example 6, it shows two functions. There's f of x and there is g of x. And we see that f of x is the blue curve, so I might just underline that in blue. And then we have g of x, which is the pink one. So I might put that into pink. And they're shown there. So it has intersection points, and the question is quite nice because it's guiding us towards finding the area in here. And if you think logically, well, we already know how to find the area under one curve. So if I was to just draw f of x being the blue one, so it looks something like that. And if we wanted to find the area from this value of x here to that intersection there, well, it would look like this. So just pretend that that area equals 6 units squared. Then, well, it makes sense that if we wanted to find what's in between, well, if we subtract, it's a bit of a non-straight line, just pretend it's straight. So if we were to subtract the area that's underneath the pink line, this, just say it's 2 units, well then that would mean that we get the area that's in here. So I probably should have made it yellow like the original picture. So the idea is we would take the top curve, find the area under that, and then subtract what's under the bottom line in this case. Could be a curve as well. So look, let's do that, and of course we'll be using calculus integration in order to do that. It's asking us to find the intersections because you need to find the intersections in order to know the terminals of your equation then. So, well, intersection, that is one of those light bulb maths things where we know we have to use simultaneous. So let's expand this. That's going to be 2x minus x squared plus 4 minus 2x. And we'll go. So it's going to be 4 minus x squared. That's f of x. And that has to equal x plus 2. So let's put that together. X squared plus x minus 2 equals 0. And x times x and 2 times neg 1. And we're going to get neg 1x plus 2x equals 1x. Yes, that's the middle term. And notice, even to this day, even at this level, it's still good to do the check. It's easy to make a silly mistake there. All right, moving on. So we've got x plus 2 and x minus 1 equals 0, meaning that our x values are neg 2 and 1. So we can see quite clearly that, well, this one must be negative 2. Well, I'm going to actually write them on there. We already know the y value of that. M equals neg 2. Remember, we want to actually answer the question. It's asking us for the values of m, p, and q. So we want to actually write those down as a solution. Writing the points on here is helpful for you and what we need, but the question's asking for the values of m, p, and q, so we need to state those. So our value of p is, what's the other one? 1, and q, well, whoops, not g. We have to sub in. So let's say g of 1 equals x plus 2, and, well, actually 1 plus 2, and that equals 3. So therefore q equals 3. So that's my answers there, but what's going to be more helpful for me if I see the x value here, and the x value is 1, and this x value is neg 2. So look, even the coordinates are not really as helpful. It's just the x values, so you can see what you're going to put for the terminals. So there we found the values m, p, q. Find the area bound by the two curves. So as I said, we're going to take the top graph, which is f of x, and we, from -2 to 1, and then we're going to subtract the bottom graph, which is g of x, from -2 to 1. So we can say the area is going to equal the definite integral of f of x dx, take away -2 to 1 of g of x dx. And look, that separates it out quite nicely for you, but but really how it usually would be written, -2 to 1 of f of x dx minus g of x dx. Oops. We only need 1 dx there, sorry. So it would be that. So that would be our first line of working out there. Now, well, we would go about it in the usual way, and look, I'm not going to do every line of working out with the subbing in here. It would make for a very long video, but it's the same as usual. So -2 to 4 of 4 minus x squared, take away, and what we need to be careful of, for the g of x, we're subtracting the whole of g of x. So be careful, if you don't put those brackets there, then you will most likely get the wrong answer, because you'll forget to minus the 2 as well as the x. So we integrate, that's going to be -1/3. Actually, no, I should expand that first. So what's that? Negative x squared minus x plus 2 dx. There we go. And now I will do the integration. So it's -1/3 x cubed minus half x squared plus 2x from -2 to 1. And I have looked at what the final answer is, so I'm just going to write that here. It's 9/2. I think they said 4.5 in the textbook. Either way, obviously, is fine. Units squared. Don't forget that even though a unit is not included in the question, we need to write units squared because we are referring to area. So that is that. Okay, so let's move forward. This one looks like it's going to be a little bit harder, and well, indeed it is. So this time we've got a sine and a cos graph, and we see that, well, we're finding two separate areas. This one I'll make it yellow, and then this one I'll make green. So the yellow area is going to be made up of, let's write that out, area equals from 0 to the intersection of the pink graph, which is g of x, minus the blue graph, which is f of x. And then, well, that's the yellow part. And then we're going to be adding that because, well, it's like a composite shape. It's like when in year 7 where you do composite shapes. We've got the second area, which is now going to be the blue graph, which is f of x, minus the pink graph, which is g of x. Oops. So, and this is going to be going from the intersection up to pi on 2. So it's not going to the next intersection. That's not what they want. They want it to go just to pi on 2. So just be careful of your terminals. It can be easy to, do them wrong. So that's going to be a equation for the area that we're trying to find. Actually, they're dividing it up. They're asking me to find the points of intersection first, and they're saying from 0 to pi on 2. I can see that there's only one intersection that I need to find. If you had to draw this graph or these graphs yourself, first, then you would, it would be more tricky to sort of know, how many intersections you were looking for. Do you go here? Do you just do one? You would find out when you find the intersections. So they give us an interval 0 to pi on 2, and the intersections are, of course, the simultaneous, where we make one equal the other. won't do. 3 cos 2x. And then I'm going to divide by 3 cos 2x. And this is this thing where if you are not familiar with sine over cos is tan, we know this, but if you don't use it enough and you don't see it enough, you can forget that that's what it is. So this is tan 2x equals 1, not 0. Cos 2x divided by cos 2x is 1, not 0. Okay, so let's see. Back to trig, where we think, well, tan of pi on 4 is going to equal 1. It exists here and it exists here. And then we can say, well, pi on 4, so 2x can equal pi on 4. And 2x, I'll do one more just to, just show you, would be 5 pi on 4. I already know that the second one, the 5 pi on 4, is outside the domain, but look, we will prove that. And x equals 5 pi on 8. And we look and we say, well, the domain is 0 to pi on 2. Yep, that one's good. Oh, that's too big. Reject. It's outside the domain. So we know that this is now pi on 8. And it asks us for the points of intersection. And look, we will find the y value, but the y value is not going to help us for the actual area. So if it didn't ask us for the specific points of intersection or point of intersection, then you would not waste your time finding the y value. The y value does not help you for the area there. Okay, so let's sub that in. 3f of pi on 8 is 3 sine 2 pi on 8 equals 3 sine of pi on 4. And that will be 3 times root 2 on 2. So 3 root 2 on 2. Put a mental blank there. There we go. So there's our point. So look, now let's determine the equation for the area. I'm just going to move it to the side because I'm running out of room. So I think that's what they're asking. Using calculus, determine the area enclosed between the curves. Yes. Okay, so going back to what we said over here for the yellow and green area, well, it's not that one graph is higher than the other the whole way. The other thing that people sometimes get confused, you don't have to consider a negative area when we're doing area between curves. So yes, in here is a negative area, but you don't need to do anything fancy for that. We don't need to flip terminals. We don't have to do anything other than just do the subtraction. So let's see. So the yellow area is going to be from 0 to pi on 8 of g of x. G of x is 3 cos 2x minus f of x, which is 3 sine 2x. So that's going to be that part. And then we're going to be adding it to from pi on 8 to pi on 2 of the other way around. This time the blue graph, f of x, is on top and the pink graph is underneath. So we say f of x, which is 3 sine 2x, and we're subtracting 3 cos 2x. So this is our first line of working out. We now want to do the anti-derivation, so I shall do that. So A equals, all right, let's have a look. So 3 over 2 cos, nope, sorry, I'm doing the wrong one. This one I've got to do first. 3 over 2 sine 2x plus, because it goes to negative cos, 3 over 2 cos 2x from 0 to pi on 8. And look, it's really, really important to be careful in these. It's so many places where you can make just a silly mistake, i.e. with anti-deriving, are they positive or negative, or just with the substitution. Really, really lots of room for error. I'm not going to be going into, all the substitution in this, but it will just take too long. But be careful of negatives, be careful of the subbing, particularly when you sub in 0 to circular functions. It doesn't, of course, automatically equal 0. Okay, so now we're adding it to neg 3 on 2 cos 2x minus 3 on 2 sine 2x of pi on 8 to pi on 2. Okay, so now you would go about subbing the values in. So I'm not going to be doing all that. We would sub in pi on 8, and then we would subtract when we sub in 0. And then, well, we would add that solution to when we do the same thing for the second one. So we sub in pi on 2 to both, find that, and then subtract when we sub in pi on 8. The answer, when we do all that, is 3 root 2 square units. And for an exam or SAC, you would most likely have your CAS for something that's so involved. It would be far too much working out to do by hand. Let's look at average value, and this is really important not to confuse it with the average rate of change. So it's not the average rate of change. So average rate of change we did previously, and that was the gradient, of a chord between 2 points on a curve. This is not the average rate of change, it's the average value of a function. And often in the exam they'll give you something with average value and something with average rate of change, and a lot of people don't realise the difference or mix the two up. Average value is this formula here, and what it refers to, I quite like this picture, is that the average value is the height of the rectangle, so this here. And where that rectangle with a width of A to B has the same area as the curve for which goes from A to B. So this curve here, like this, if we were to find the area under the curve, it would be that. And that area would be the same as the rectangle that's drawn underneath that. And that height of the rectangle is the average value. So it's a height, so it's not units squared. Average value is just as it is. It doesn't have squared on it. So let's find the average value of a function. And what you should do is write average value equals, write the formula, 1 over b minus a of a to b of f of x dx. Doesn't look like a good f there. So there we go. And now you can just sub in the values. This is a and this is b. Just be careful you put them the right way around. As long as you're consistent that you're A and B, you could, just as long as you're consistent, it will work. So now that's going to be 1 over 3 pi on 8 minus pi on 8, A, which is pi on 8, to 3 pi on 8 of f of x, which is sine 2x. Oops, doesn't look good. Dx. Probably don't really need those outside brackets there. And then, well, let's see, this is going to be 1 over 2 pi on 8. So when we flip that, that's going to be 8 on 2 pi, which is 4 over pi. I might write that. Pi on 8, 3 pi on 8 of sine 2x dx. Okay, so now we've got 4 over pi, anti-derive that, which is sine goes to negative cos when we anti-derive. We divide by 2 of 2x, and we add pi on 8 to 3 pi on 8. So again, we sub this in, find that, and then we subtract when we sub this in, and then we're multiplying by 4 over pi. And the answer, the average value, will be 2 root 2 on pi. And that is our average value. Right, that completes the worked examples from 8.4.